welcome. This is Practical Tactical Faith, and I'm Beth. I want to just welcome you to this video and this channel. This is an introduction to what Practical Tactical Faith is. Really, the goal is to be a resource. If you've ever wondered, what is Christianity? What do they believe? How do I know it's true? And how do I defend it to other people? This is the channel for you. I am a wife and a mother of two now teenage boys, which is amazing that we have gotten to this place. But in Practical Tactical Faith, I'm just going to share with you the faith journey that I've been on. I'm going to share with you what I've learned along the way. I'll share with you some of the things that have worked with my family and things that have not worked. And so we'll just kind of go on this journey together. My goal with that title, Practical Tactical Faith, is just that: practical ways to apply Christianity to your life, tactical ways, strategic ways to share it. Some folks are, maybe understandably so, a little defensive to the gospel, and we have to be very careful and strategic with how we share it. And it's really about just that, the faith being trusting in Jesus and the unadulterated gospel, and how to share that and what that actually is. So one of the first things I want to share with you is this has been kind of a journey that's been going on since about 2018. Not my faith journey, but just maybe the infancy, the advent of Practical Tactical Faith. This started kind of as an adult Sunday school at my church, and then through COVID and other opportunities, it's turned into kind of a ministry of both fourth and fifth graders, Sunday school, and then kind of morphed also, in addition to that, to middle school, and then a weekly middle school ministry, but then also a monthly high school ministry as well. And that's just been such an amazing opportunity. I can't be more grateful to my church for allowing me to do those ministry opportunities. But really, I wanted to reach both the students that I teach at my church. And so these videos will really be kind of either a recap or a review of things that I've gone over in my either elementary school, middle school, or high school ministries. And so that if they've missed a week or they've missed a lesson, they can go back and watch these videos. It's really for them. I love you guys, and I hope that this will help kind of support your faith journey as well. But then if this reaches a bigger audience, that's amazing. And that's really, all the glory to Jesus. So I want to share with you, I have been so intimidated to make videos because it's just not my strong suit. It's more my teenager's strong suit. But I wanted to go ahead and just take that leap of faith. I was really inspired by a recent conference that I attended, and I knew that would be the great starting point. And so I just wanted to share that with you in case anyone out there is looking for that opportunity. So the conference that I attended recently is called the CIA, the CrossExamined Instructor Academy. And the focus is something referred to as apologetics. If that's a new term to you, it's referring to being able to defend really anything. So you could be an apologist for pineapple on pizza, and you would be really good at defending pineapple on pizza. So the word apologist doesn't mean specifically one field of study. It just means being good at defending your position on anything. So for me, I would be referring to Christian apologetics, meaning how to make a defense for the Christian faith. When I was growing up, I grew up in a faith-based household. I grew up in a Presbyterian church. I feel like I was saved, maybe kind of my mountaintop moment, in a Baptist church, which I can't be more grateful for those folks at the Baptist church that I started attending when I was a teenager. But I had that childlike faith. I loved Jesus with my whole heart, and I can't remember a time that I didn't love Jesus. But the problem was I didn't know how to intellectually defend the Christian faith. And I felt so deficient, and I was really concerned that that made it so that maybe it wasn't true because I couldn't defend it. Well, it's just because I was deficient in the understanding. It wasn't because Jesus was deficient. And so through my young adult years, and on into being a wife and a mom, is when I really discovered Christian apologetics. And for me, it wasn't a heart issue or a will issue, it was just a knowledge issue. And once I kind of fell onto Christian apologetics, I couldn't get enough of it. It was exactly what I was desiring, to help kind of just fill that missing piece of the puzzle. And it was almost like, just I couldn't get enough of it, and I wanted to share it. And so I found myself very often at get-togethers when everybody wanted to just relax and not talk about anything major. I wanted to talk about the latest thing that I had learned, or the latest concept, or this perspective on theology. And so probably was not the most popular thing to be doing, but I loved it so much. So I'm going to share with you some of the things that I've come across, as in different videos, and hopefully you'll find something that's helpful and will also kind of just spur on your faith journey as well. So let me just start with the CrossExamined Instructor Academy, because that was the catalyst for starting to record videos. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen here, because I want to share, let's see here. Get rid of all that. All right. So the first thing I'll share is the website that you'll go to. So you'll go to the CrossExamined website. This is Dr. Frank Turek. That's his ministry. And he has been in this realm for, over 20 plus years. And he just started out going to college campuses, sharing his I don't have enough faith to be an atheist work. His mentor was Norm Geisler, and together they worked on this book, developed this work that they share at the college campuses. And then and so it's really kind of grown. You can check him out on all the platforms: YouTube, Facebook, TikTok, or all the social media platforms, Instagram, Twitter, all those things. Okay. So you would first start out going to his website, and then under events, you would go to CIA. And they just have it, they have it once a year. This year, it's usually at the end of July, 1st of August. And so this, if you were interested, it would be for next year. Just be prepared for that. When you apply, you'll get this little welcome letter, and like I did, and I was so excited to see that. I also, I had been kind of watching, because CIAs are something that they sometimes have kind of throughout the country. So sometimes they're in Texas or California or wherever. And so I wanted to wait until they were closer by, because I knew I wanted to bring my teenage sons. I have a 13-year-old and a 16-year-old, and I wanted them to attend with me. And so it just worked out perfectly for this year. And so I'm going to walk you through just some pictures so that you can, we'll kind of share the pictures and the experience together. These are my two boys and our hotel. We checked in. They kind of do they have all the details set down for you, so it makes it really easy. This is the first night in the hotel room, of course, playing video games. We had to get that set up pretty quickly. I went ahead and got everything set up for the day. I took the documents that they send you in the email, and I put them together in a notebook. You can see that there. The notebook includes the documents that they send you, include the speakers that are going to be there, the other students, what your day looks like, a map of the campus, just all the things you need to make it as stress-less as possible. And the only reason that there's any stress involved at all is because you're going to prepare to present. One of the skills that you're developing is your ability to share whatever message you have to an audience. And so you're trying to prepare yourself as an apologist to work on a presentation that you'll give to an audience, and you want to work on being able to be a presence and be knowledgeable and deliver it in a way that's pleasing to the audience. And so you're presenting to some pretty well-known apologists, and so that's pretty exciting. So that's the only reason why it would be stressful, is that you've got a full day that you're just going to be hearing from the presenters, but then also on day 2 and day 3, you're going to be presenting your presentation to them, and then you get good feedback. So we've got all our supplies for the next day, and then we've got our CrossExamined Instructor Academy. And there are my sweet boys already. And Jacob's finding the websites that they're talking about. And one thing that they do have is they've always got a nice table full of coffee and breakfast bars. And so my boys love being able to kind of avail themselves of little breakfast bars there. Frank Turk started out speaking, and he never ceases to just be I mean, all his presentations are very informative and they're very motivating. He's really got, I mean, he's got this down as far as how to present and then how to teach how to present. So really appreciate that. Then we heard from Dr. Bobby Conway, and he gave some wonderful talks just about how to, deal with challenging topics and how to do it with, love and respect. And that's so important. Let me back up just a little bit, because this reminds me of important things that happened during the morning time. So this is Greg Kokel, and he wrote the book Tactics. He is kind of an OG in this world. He is signing my book, which is amazing, and I was just kind of beaming. I actually, when the morning started, so Thursday morning, and I've got the boys, and we're, headed out, and I'm nervous, but I want to, I want this to be fun for them. And I'm getting on the elevator to go downstairs. We're going to grab some breakfast, and then we're going to head over to where, to the church where their CIA is being put on. And I get in the church, and the first person I meet is Diego, and he is the coordinator behind everything. And he recognizes me, I guess, I don't know, I'm sure the one puts together the pictures, but he recognizes me immediately and introduces himself. And so it was like, oh, wow, there's a real person behind all these emails that you're getting. Well, as I'm kind of digesting the fact that this is, is Diego, who was so nice and helpful and kind of coordinating everything. The doors open, we go down a floor, and the doors open, and Elisa Childers steps on. And in this world, Elisa Childers is another just amazing apologist. And I couldn't even, it was just so funny, because I mean, it kind of takes your breath away for a second. And I'm sitting there, and I've got my 2 sons there, and I said, oh my gosh, it's Elisa Childers. Oh, these are my children. This is, and she was so pleasant and so nice and just down to earth and a normal, person, but it was just amazing. So we go to breakfast, and Greg Kokel was eating breakfast. And I don't know if you've ever seen, there's a episode of Parks and Recreation where the character Ron he's a woodworking enthusiast, and so he goes to a woodworking convention with some friends, and he's running around seeing all these people that are kind of famous in this world.
Mary, Mother of God. That's Christian Bexford. He's the modern master of the shaker style. I'd never dreamed that I'd see him in the flesh.
Go over and say hello.
No, I'm sure he gets swamped with attention all the time.
And that's kind of how I felt, because I'm like pointing out, oh my gosh, that's so-and-so, that's so-and-so, that's so-and-so. And my boys knew these folks just because I've been talking about them and sharing them, and I share their videos and share their books. But it was just a really exciting time to see these celebrities kind of just sitting and eating breakfast like normal people. And so I'm eating breakfast and I was like, oh my gosh, I want to go say hey to Greg Kokel so much. And my oldest son, he was like, Mom, please just leave him alone and let him eat breakfast. And I was like, okay, all right, buddy, I will. But luckily I saw him on day one and asked him to sign my book. And he was just, again, you can see how kind and pleasant he was. So anyway, that was just kind of the theme of the whole weekend was just amazing, brilliant apologists who were just so approachable, and I couldn't be more grateful. I think that's my son got that book, got those pictures. So this is Elisa Childers' presentation with this cute little puppy dog and her talk about how to, there's going to be times when we share things about our faith that people don't like. And in this world, just the culture is that someone may try to silence you if you're trying to share something that people don't like. And she is just sharing tips and tricks about how to kind of navigate that. Again, our goal is never to, go out on an attack of anyone, but sometimes you have to say things, Jesus can be divisive. And that's, I wish, I guess that's not my ultimate goal, but my goal is to do whatever Jesus wants me to do. So then Greg Kokel spoke. The next thing was, and there's a little video of this that I'll probably share later on, but Brett Kokel spoke, and he does just an amazing job. He has a ministry called Maven Truth. You can look that up. And where he brings his young people out on opportunities to really test what they know about defending their faith. And one of the things he does is makes a point to the older folks in the room, the adults, that we really have to understand where the next generation is coming from and what is important to them, what they're listening to, what they're aware of versus the different generations. And so he plays this little game where he'll bring up the oldest person in the room and the youngest person in the room, and he'll kind of quiz them on the other person's generational icons or whatever that they are aware of, just to see which generation knows the other generation best. So my son was the youngest in the room to come up.
That's right, Jacob and Charlie. Okay, so there's a little competition that I call Generation Gap. Here's what we're gonna do. I've got questions for our youngin, and I got questions for our old timer, and I need someone to keep score. Someone be my scorekeeper. Who's gonna be my scorekeeper? Right, will you be my scorekeeper? Okay. All right, so we got the old timer and the youngin. All right. So I'm going to put up a series of questions and pictures. I'm going to ask you various questions, and you're just going to speak in the mic and give us your answer. So we're going to start with Jacob. Here's your question. Jacob, what is a Thomas guide? Do you have any idea? Okay. All right, no idea. So we're gonna that point's gonna flow over here. If our old timer can answer it, Charlie, what's a Thomas guide?
I have no idea.
Oh, wow. That is surprising. What is a Thomas guide?
A map.
Yeah, it's a book of maps, right, that we used to use before GPS and smartphones. Okay. All right, Charlie. I see no points on that one. Charlie, what is Riz?
Treat me like white tees, don't get me dirty.
I'm going to repeat my previous answer and say I have no idea.
Okay. All right. Jacob, what is Riz?
Riz is something that you can use to get girls with. It's basically like game. It's basically
Yeah.
charisma.
Okay, nailed it. Okay, so explain to these folks, what is game?
Game is just something that you use to get girls with.
Okay. Riz is something you use to get girls when you got game, and game is something you use. Okay, good. Now what's Riz short for? Do you know?
Charisma.
Charisma. Charisma. Okay, so Riz is short for charisma. It can mean charm, to woo a person, to have game. All right, so 1 point for Jacob. Round of applause for Jacob. All right. So Jacob, if we said you've got serious Riz, would that apply? No. All right, he's an honest Gen Zer. All right, youngin. What is a rotary phone?
Is it the flip phone? Or like
Flip phone?
Is it
Flip phone?
like a flip phone?
No, absolutely not. Okay, Charlie, what's a rotary phone? Oh, there you go. 1 point for Charlie. There you go. All right, so the next question for Charlie. What does it mean if your phone is blowing up?
People are calling you all the time.
All right, Charlie got that one correct too, so 2 points for Charlie there. All right, youngin, Jacob, what does PBS stand for? Time's up. Don't know? Okay.
Public Broadcasting System.
Oh, so close.
Peanut butter sandwich. That could work. It's actually Public Broadcasting Service. So, but all right, you can redeem yourself, Charlie. What does PS5 stand for?
PlayStation 5.
All right, Charlie gets another point for that. Okay.
Xbox One.
All right, Jacob, I want you to complete this song lyric. Goodness gracious. Don't give it to him. 3 seconds. Okay, Charlie.
Goodness gracious, great balls of fire!
Okay, now, old timer, complete this lyric. Everybody at the bar getting.
I will defer to the youngin.
Okay, that one goes over to Jacob.
You may not know that.
Everybody at the bar getting.
You may not know that.
Come on.
We're a discerning household. He may not know that.
That may be a good sign. All right, anybody out there? Everybody at the bar getting? Tipsy. These aren't discerning households. Okay. That's a new song. It's called a bar song. All right, let's go over here to Jacob. Jacob, who is this female character on television?
Aunt B.
Aunt B!
Chickens will go on the laps.
I spill on my shirt. I don't spill on my pants.
Well, nice people don't spill at all.
That's right. You are a discerning household if you know who Aunt B is. All right, Charlie, name this female television character. Or the show.
No, the character.
Okay. Jacob, you got this one?
I have no idea. I'm gonna say a Kardashian.
Hey, good guess. No, this is Nene on the High School Musical series. The actress, anyone know the actress? Olivia Rodrigo, okay. All right, Jacob, what game is this? What's the name of this game?
Medieval checkers.
Medieval checkers, good try. All right, Charlie, what is the name of this game?
Backgammon.
Oh, yeah, okay, so backgammon, so you got that one.
Answer the first question.
Now, how about this one?
No clue.
Jacob?
Fortnite.
Fortnite. Okay. And last but not least, Jacob, who is this famous musical artist?
Louis Armstrong.
Louis Armstrong. Yes. All right, Charlie, who is this famous musical artist? All right, Jacob.
Sorry.
For you?
Post Malone.
Post Malone. All right. All right, do we have a final score here? They're tied. Oh, shoot. Okay, Charlie, what is this game right here? seconds.
Nope.
Time up.
Call of Duty.
Call of Duty. Call of Duty. So that means the winner of our competition is Jake. A round of applause.
Winner!
All right, thank you.
To be a part of that. Other just slides from the presentation. He's sharing also about how much worldview impacts how you navigate everything. And that's been a big part of what I share with my young people also. And so I'll be sharing that in other videos. It's just the concept of worldviews. I was, it's a very important component. And so we'll be talking about a lot about that. And so this is kind of, I loved this message that he shared about the plausibility structure of how people, when they're kind of picking their worldview versus theism versus atheism, and just how all these things kind of interplay with each other to kind of create someone's worldview. Let's see. Then we met Alan Parr. He spoke a couple of different times, but he was, you never want to bother people, but you also want to kind of snag the opportunity to grab a quick picture. So this is Alan Parr, and so I was really excited to get a picture with him. This was, I had to sneak out and didn't get very many pictures, but this was Dr. Turek's presentation on how to present. And then we had a breakout session. This one specifically was about using AI in your presentations. And I brought my oldest son with me so that he could pay attention because, again, this is a foreign world to me. And I'm grateful for any guidance and help that my teenagers can provide. This is one of the presenters, and well, actually, he was one of the students, but he has a pretty big following. This is Nils, and so he already uses AI in his presentation. So I don't know that you can see his handles, but he's on Instagram. And as I go through, I'll be sharing as many resources as I can with you. Oh, there it is. Niels Glenn. And so you can check him out. Instagram is, I think, is his main avenue for sharing, but he's got a lot of great videos. That's Brent Kokel and Elisa Childers. That was after one of her breakout sessions. And so just another follow-ups presentation about how to be a citizen and a Christian and how to navigate all that. And let's see, that's Dr. Turek. And let me go back. This is Natasha Crane. And so she was actually one of my presenters, the presenter judges, or the person watching my presentation and giving feedback. And so I actually got to stand right next to her during a like group photo and just kind of chit chat with her briefly. And so that's Dr. Frank Turk. We got a nice picture with him. And sorry, let me fast forward a little bit. They apparently took lots of pictures. Then we had, each night we had a moment of worship. And so one of the students came up on the stage and was able to play some amazing music for us. Then Alan Parr spoke. And then Dr. Richard Howe, he is a philosopher or professor of philosophy. And so he always gives a wonderful presentation about how important philosophy is to kind of teasing out theological issues and worldviews. And so then we had kind of a panel. There was a time to ask questions from all the presenters. And so you really have a great opportunity to ask your questions to the heavyweights of this area. They shared some different pictures. Apparently, this is Ben Roethlisberger. So if you're a Steelers fan, this would be, you know, a cool picture. I don't know football as well as my kids, and so my oldest son told me who that was. Um, and so then we had the very next day, we had our presentations. And so just took a few shots of some of the presentations. This is, I think that's just video of my presentation. And then after the presentations, Natasha Crane spoke again. She spoke again about worldview. She has another book coming out I keep an eye out for that I think is really good, or probably going to be very important. She shared some important data points about where we are as far as our Christian faith and uh, uh, those of us that refer to us as Christians, how many of those folks have an actual Christian perspective, a Christian worldview? And so the concern is that every year, while that number may or may not be changing of folks that call themselves Christian, the people with the Christian worldview seems to be in decline. And so that's kind of the important concept of that. And so the other thing that we'll talk about is the concept of secularism. Being secular is just, some folks will use it will say it just means not religious, right? It's just kind of neutral. But the problem is what nature abhors a vacuum. And so whenever you take God or anything religious out of your, what you think you're worshiping, something else takes its place. And so I think we all worship something. I think that's unavoidable. And so the issue is with secularism, that you get into a place where you have nothing concrete, and that leads to a lot of uncertainty, especially in young people. And that leads to a lot of bad outcomes. We'll be talking about that in some future videos, but I think she's right on hit the nail right on the head with some of the concerns that we have with our young people. So later that night, we went out to dinner, and then the next morning we had presentations right off the bat. And I got a lot of great feedback from, I don't want to stay on that bad picture. That's not a great, not a great picture, but I'll pause there for just a second. I got a lot of great feedback from Natasha Crane the first day. You've probably noticed some of them now, what we call verbal graffiti, just the ums when you're kind of moving to the next sentence or that kind of thing. So like I did right there. So I was able to apply a lot of that to the next day and feel just way more confident the next time that I presented. And so that's one of the things that CIA is so good for, is it just really helps to fine tune those skills. We have little reference as far as like what resources to use as far as technology, and that's always so helpful. And then oh my gosh, the last little or kind of activity they have is they kind of flip the script, and you have to go up as the apologist and kind of defend your position. And so this was the first of this presentation. I did get to come up, and it was just a great opportunity to be put under the microscope as far as how well you do in a tough situation, defending your position with gentleness and respect. And so it was a really great activity for the group. And then we did surveys, and they kind of surveyed the group as far as, what their perspectives was on how the weekend went, and any feedback we had. And then we wrapped up with some pictures. And there was another opportunity. Jorge Gill is the producer of Frank's show, and he's kind of the mastermind behind all the technology that makes it possible. He had an optional little little session to discuss technology again. My boys were ready to go because we had a beach trip waiting for us. And so we went ahead and headed out. And we're very excited to head kind of eastward to the beach. And so that kind of wraps up our the weekend at CIA. But overall, like I said, I can't advocate for this presentation enough, the CIA presentation, the CIA experience. If you're interested at all in fine-tuning these skills, I would first start by just listening to some of the resources that we talked about, reading some of the books that these authors have shared, and checking out them on social media. And I think that you will find that it really will start to either kind of build your confidence and build your ability to share and discuss. The biggest thing is just being able to share and discuss with your family first and feel more strengthened in that realm, and then being able to share, at your church or out in the community. But I'm going to wrap up for there, and then just watch for our next videos. What I'll basically be doing is sharing the videos that I share with our young people. And so I'm just very grateful for you to join us, and I look forward to seeing you next time. Take care.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
Yeah.